Good afternoon, everybody. Christine Barconi here in the NBC4i Streaming Center, and I am joined today by CEO of the Sugar Bowl, Jeff Hundley. Thank you so much for being with us, Jeff, from New Orleans, I'm presuming, in your office there. How's things going? How's preparation?
Well, we've been busy, for several months now, and especially so since December 20th when we found out that we'd have the Buckeyes and Clemson in the game, and we've been excited ever since, and then looking forward to getting the two teams into town.
Yeah, when you guys heard that you would be hosting an Ohio State Clemson rematch, uh, how excited were you?
Very much so. Given what transpired last year, plus the great tradition of the two programs, you couldn't ask for anything better. I guess the one thing we could ask for is the ability to get more people in the stadium. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case this year, but it'll be a great ball game and one that I know people around the country are going to be sure to tune in for.
Yeah, Jeff, I didn't tell you this before the interview, but I'm an Ohio State alum, so I am very much looking forward to this rematch here. So you talked about the fans. Obviously, it's going to be a lot different. Only a few thousand fans inside the stadium. How did that work out? How did you decide that number, and who was getting tickets, and what other safety measures will be in place for Friday?
Well, throughout the fall, we were tried to remain glass half full, optimistic that we were going to be able to have a decent sized crowd in the stadium come January 1st. But even 3 weeks ago, we were at 15,000 that the city was telling us that we could have. Unfortunately, the numbers in the virus started to climb here, and we dropped back to 6,000 a week after that, and then ultimately down to 3,000, and that's where it stays at this point in time. So we're making the best of it. We've taken all safety precautions necessary. You have to wear a mask to enter the stadium, and the entire time while you're in the stadium, you have to have go through a temperature screening on the way in. The ushers will ask a series of questions on the way in. The city has a mask mandate going on right now. So any fans who are traveling or parents of players who are traveling should be aware of that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a football game that matters a lot in terms of the national championship, and for that reason, we're excited. Yes, we're disappointed we couldn't get more fans in the stadium, but as we've said often this year, it is what it is, and so we have to adapt and kind of roll with it, and we've done so.
I think it is what it is definitely been said more times than ever this year. Uh, are you confident that those measures are going to be able to keep those fans and family members, and of course the players and you guys as staff, safe?
We feel comfortable. We have a good track record throughout the fall. All the same protocols that have been in place this fall for New Orleans Saints home games will be in place here at the Superdome for our game. And we have data to support, as does the city and the Saints organization, that football games have not been spreader events like some others perhaps have been. We've done social distancing with the seating assignments as well. So I think we're as safe as we can be going into the event. And of course, everyone enters at their own risk, but certainly we think that we're prepared and ready to put on a good show in a safe environment.
What else has changed this year? Are the teams in New Orleans yet, or are they arriving a little bit later than usual? What's going on with that and bringing in the teams? Obviously, Clemson's not too far, but it's a pretty long flight for Ohio State from us here in Columbus.
Well, I think the biggest change is the schedule. Typically we would have teams in here 6 nights prior to the game, and we'd have a whole series of events, parties, events for the players. We do a big New Year's Eve parade through the French Quarter. That's always a lot of fun with Mardi Gras style floats, and we do a big fan fest typically on New Year's Eve. That's part of the Dick Clark New Year's Eve show that's nationally televised with free music entertainment. But none of that will be taking place this year. The only event that we're able to do is a welcome event for the teams when they get here, and in an abundance of caution and to keep the teams safe and inside their bubble, so to speak. We won't even be in attendance that event. It's just for them, and so they'll arrive, and um, Clemson arrives on the 30th, and then the Buckeyes get in mid-afternoon on the 31st. So it's a very quick,
Quick in and out.
in and out, just focused on playing the game, playing it safely, and I know Buckeye fans want them to stay safe so they can play the following week in Miami.
Exactly. I like that. I like how you're thinking there. What's it like there in New Orleans? Do you guys have curfews and restaurant and bar restrictions right now? I know in Ohio we have a 10 p.m. curfew. Restaurants and bars are at limited capacity.
Yeah, there are not curfews at present time. However, there are capacity
Hmm.
limitations, and those will be posted. I believe it's 50% capacity at this point in time, and again, masks are required except when actively eating or drinking. So hopefully people will follow those because they will be enforced.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we need to point out is that the city is duty bound to enforce those. And so we're trying to be safe. And frankly, here in New Orleans, we have a lower positivity rate than the rest of the state. And our state as a whole is lower, believe it or not, than most of the states around the country. So I think the administration here aims to keep it that way. And we're trying to abide by it, but still go ahead and accomplish our mission of having the All-State Sugar Bowl CFP semifinal on January 1st.
Absolutely. Now, because more eyes, rather than tens of thousands of fans coming to New Orleans to participate in the festivities and stuff, more eyes. That means more eyes on the game on television. Are you guys adapting to that? Are you guys doing anything special on TV leading up to the game?
Well, we've toyed with a number of different virtual options, and with the high uncertainty of throughout the fall and even late past Thanksgiving of the date. We chose not to do anything like that. I think you'll see most of that take place on the broadcast itself with ESPN, what they do. We had toyed with a New Year's Eve virtual event, but um, with the rising number of cases late in the season, we were concerned that if our game got postponed till later in January, did it make sense to have a New Year's Eve event and go through spend the money and time and effort on that? So we've adapted as much as we hate it. We've adapted and become just basically a game this year. And we've preached to the city and to the members of the Sugar Bowl committee that success this year will just be actually playing the game. If we get that done and behind us, all parties involved should be happy and able to look ahead to bigger and brighter things next year.
Jeff, kind of on a human level, back in March, whenever March Madness was canceled and all the other spring sports also had to kind of end their seasons early as well, did you ever think come January of the following year that we'd still be in the midst of this and really having to tighten up our belts again with the restrictions and stuff like that?
I probably should be embarrassed to admit this, but no, I did not think we'd still
I
be
don't think
here. I
that's
thought,
embarrassing. I don't think any of us did.
yeah, we really thought, by the time the football season started, that things would be okay and we'd be able to go back to the business as usual, and that hasn't turned out to be the case. And it's been a year. Probably I've been here for 27 years working for the Sugar Bowl committee, and seen a lot during that time, including Hurricane Katrina when it hit and we had to adapt and put a game on in another city. But this has been completely different, and the information and the plan has changed almost daily. We've probably constructed 20 plus different budgets throughout the course of this to try to make the numbers work. So, we've had to be as flexible as we've ever been as an organization. And for an organization that's built on tradition, that's been a challenge, but it's one that our people have risen to, and that's why we're still here and ready to play on January 1st.
All right, Jeff, one last question for you. What is your message to Buckeye fans, whether they are traveling there for the game, whether they're parents or friends of the players, or they're going to be watching here from Columbus and, all over the country? Buckeye Nation is really spread out, of course. What is your message to them?
Well, the Buckeyes need to know that the people in New Orleans look at them fondly. We've had great experiences over the time that I've been here with Ohio State in the city. The business owners love them. They love the spirit. They always come in mass. We know that's not possible this year, but we hope you'll remember us in the future, and we promise that we'll make up for it the next time the Buckeyes come to town.
All right. Well, wherever the Buckeye football team goes in the years to come, we know the fans will be sure to follow. Hopefully, we can get back to normal very, very soon. Jeff, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking time to talk to me today.
Thank you.
All right. All right, everybody, I'm going to put more information up about the Sugar Bowl on NBC4i.com here in just a few minutes. If you want to check that out, I will clip this interview and you can rewatch the whole thing. Just some fun Sugar Bowl stats for you guys before we go. Last time Ohio State was in the Sugar Bowl, it was a great game, in my opinion. A big win over Alabama. It was in January 2015 for that 2014 National Championship game. Hopefully, I can get a repeat against Clemson this Friday. It'll be the late game, the 8 o'clock game on New Year's Day. So make sure you stay with NBC4 and NBC4i.com for the latest leading up to the games. We will have tons of coverage. And later today, Justin is talking to some bar owners as well as some doctors about how we can make sure that the Sugar Bowl and who you are watching it with in this event doesn't become a super spread event here in Columbus. So make sure you are watching it at your home with the people you live with. That is the advice of doctors. And of course, want to make sure we are staying safe and heeding their advice. Again, more information on NBC4i.com. We will see you later. Bye.